My name is Reagan Hayes, and at 34, I've carved out a life in Austin, Texas, that's a testament to grit and sheer willpower. As a senior software engineer at a cutting-edge AI firm, I'm pulling in a salary that lets me live comfortably, way beyond what I ever imagined growing up. But my story starts in the shadows of a broken home in rural Oklahoma, where at age 10, my world shattered like glass underfoot. My mom, Linda Brooks, packed her bags after a messy divorce from my dad, Tom Hayes, leaving us in the dust of her taillights. She chased after some smooth-talking salesman who whispered promises of glamour and ease. Dad and I were left with a rundown trailer, a stack of overdue notices, and hearts raw from the abandonment. I clawed my way up, burying the hurt under layers of determination, thinking I'd sealed it away for good. But one crisp fall afternoon, a persistent ring at my condo door yanked me back into the abyss. There stood my mom, unaged by regret, with my half-sister, Mia Vaughn, in tow, demanding a slice of my hard-earned pie. Their audacity wasn't just greedy, it was a venomous strike at the scars I'd hidden. How deep did their schemes run? What lies had they woven? I was about to unravel it all, and it would force me to confront the ghosts I'd outrun. If you've ever been stabbed in the back by family, hit that like button and share your tale in the comments. It helps more than you know. And if you're new here, smash subscribe for more raw, real-life revenge sagas that hit right in the feels. I never imagined my mom would track me down because of my success. Back in that dusty Oklahoma town, my life flipped upside down when I was just 10. Mom, Linda, had grown cold and distant, her eyes always flicking to the clock or out the window like she was already halfway gone. One stormy night, she slammed the door behind her, suitcase in hand, without so much as a backward glance. Dad later confessed she'd fallen for another man, a slick car dealer named Greg Vaughn, who dangled visions of luxury condos and exotic trips. The divorce papers arrived like a final insult, stripping us bare. Mom didn't just leave, she erased us, relocating to a flashy suburb in Dallas and birthing my half-sister Mia within a year. No phone calls, no holiday visits, just sporadic Christmas cards with generic scribbles that felt like salt in an open wound. Happy holidays, thinking of you. Each one landed like a punch, reminding me I wasn't worth the effort. Dad threw himself into survival mode. He owned a tiny auto repair shop, grease-stained overalls his uniform, wrenching engines from sunup to sundown. The place smelled of oil and desperation, with flickering fluorescent lights and shelves of rusted parts. He'd come home reeking of motor oil, his calloused hands cracking from the cold, collapsing into our sagging couch with a beer and a forced smile. Some nights, after expenses, he'd pocket maybe $40, barely enough for ramen and utilities. The trailer groaned under winter winds, and we'd huddle under blankets when the heat got shut off. Dad masked his despair with jokes, but I'd catch him staring at the bills, forehead creased, whispering curses under his breath. At 14, the weight crushed me too hard to ignore. I started mowing lawns in the blistering summer heat, sweat stinging my eyes as I pushed that ancient mower across overgrown yards. Come fall, I'd rake leaves until my palms blistered, then switch to shoveling snow in bone-chilling dawns. Every crumpled bill I handed Dad went toward the electric or a loaf of bread. He'd protest, eyes misty, "You're just a kid, Reagan. Go play." But I'd shake my head, insisting it was our fight. My arms ached, my back screamed, but it was my armor against the emptiness Mom left. School became my sanctuary. I'd hole up in the library after hours, devouring coding tutorials on the ancient computers, the glow of the screen chasing away the shadows of doubt. Dad would join me when he could, his oil-smeared fingers pointing at the screen, encouraging me even as exhaustion slurred his words. "You're a fighter, kiddo. smarter than this town. But Mom's ghost haunted me, staring at faded Polaroids of her laughing, wondering why her love had conditions I couldn't meet. The questions festered, a dull throb I drowned in homework and hustle. High school sharpened my resolve. I knew tech was my ticket out. Programming felt like magic, turning chaos into order. I stayed up until my eyes burned, debugging code under a dim desk lamp, acing AP classes while juggling part-time gigs at a local diner, flipping burgers amid the sizzle and shouts. My counselor spotted my fire and steered me toward scholarships. At 18, I snagged a full ride to the University of Texas at Austin for computer science, a golden key to freedom. But scholarships covered tuition only. The rest was on me. Rent in a dingy off-campus apartment, textbooks that cost a fortune, meals scraped from dollar stores. No safety net, just my unyielding drive. I juggled 3 jobs: barista at a campus coffee shop, steaming lattes while mentally rehearsing algorithms, tutor for undergrads, explaining loops and variables until my voice hoarsed, and freelance coder on weekends. Hunched over my laptop in the dead of night, fingers flying across keys. My days blurred. Up at 4 a.m. for a shift, classes till noon, coding till midnight. Exhaustion clawed at me, but I'd clench my fists, remembering Dad's weary eyes, vowing not to crumble. Every paycheck was budgeted to the penny. $200 for rent, $50 for groceries, the rest saved for just in case. College forged me in fire. I overloaded on courses, hacked together apps in dorm hackathons, and scored an internship at a startup, crunching datasets till my vision blurred. Graduation brought a diploma, accolades, and a job offer from an AI company in Austin. Starting salary that made my head spin. Austin's vibrant tech vibe, neon-lit streets, buzzing co-working spaces, felt like rebirth. I rose fast, from junior dev to senior engineer in 6 years, leading teams on machine learning projects, my code powering innovations that changed industries. Success tasted sweet, but I never forgot Dad. Once stable, I wired him $600 monthly, enough to upgrade his shop's tools, pay off lingering debts, even get that knee surgery he'd postponed. He'd call, voice thick with emotion. "You didn't have to, Reagan, but damn, I'm proud." It was my quiet rebellion against the void Mom created. Mom, though? Her cards kept coming, each a sterile jab. "Happy birthday. Hope life's treating you well." No warmth, no apology, just echoes of indifference. I'd stuff them in a junk drawer, but they'd stir the old rage. Why abandon me? Why pretend now? I shoved it down, channeling energy into code and connections. My Austin life was mine. A sleek condo with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Colorado River. Colleagues who valued my input. Friends who'd become my tribe. I thought I'd barricaded the past, but wounds like that don't scar over. They wait to reopen. It all cracked open one crisp fall afternoon. The doorbell's insistent buzz interrupted my remote work session. Peering through the peephole, my breath caught. Mom, looking polished in designer knockoffs, with a young woman, Mia, my half-sister, fidgeting beside her. Over 2 decades since I'd seen Mom's face, and it slammed into me like a freight train. Shock freezing my veins, a phantom ache blooming in my chest. I opened the door, and she surged forward, arms wide, voice honeyed but scripted. "Reagan, darling, look at you. It's been forever." Her hug was stiff, perfume cloying. I stood rigid. Mia mumbled a "hey," eyes scanning my condo like an appraiser. We settled in the living room, sunlight streaming through windows onto my minimalist decor. Leather sofa, abstract art I'd splurged on. Mom's gaze roved greedily. The smart TV, the high-end kitchen gadgets. She chattered about missing me, pride in my big city success, but her words rang false. like elevator music. Then the mask slipped. I hear you're killing it in tech. 6 figures, right? She said, leaning in, eyes glinting. Mia's heading to college soon. Tuition's $70,000 a year, and we're strapped. Just $4,000 a month from you could change everything. The numbers hit like ice water. $70K? $4,000 monthly? But it was her breezy entitlement that twisted the knife, assuming I'd foot the bill for a stranger's dreams. Mia piped up, lounging on my couch, boots scuffing the rug. This place is okay, but kinda basic for someone raking it in like you. Her smirk dripped disdain, phone glued to her hand. You could upgrade. Maybe help us out while you're at it. My gut churned, palms sweating. This wasn't reunion. It was extortion, wrapped in faux affection. Mom wove tales of hardship. We've been scraping by since Greg's business tanked. Her voice quavered artfully, but her posture screamed calculation. Fingers drumming, eyes flicking to my laptop. Family sticks together, Reagan. You've got plenty. The word family ignited fury. Where was that when Dad and I ate canned soup by candlelight? A sliver of me yearned for reconciliation, for her to explain the abandonment, to bridge the chasm. But suspicion coiled tight. How'd they know my salary? I probed gently. Mom evaded. Word gets around. I said I'd think on it. $70K wasn't pocket change. Mom's smile cracked. Mia huffed. Cheapskate. They left. Mom's parting hug lingering possessively. Alone, my heart hammered, torn between rage and foolish hope. Why did I still care? The next day, a text pinged. Let's meet. We can work this out. I agreed to a crowded Austin cafe, the aroma of fresh brews mingling with indie music. They waited at a patio table, Mom's smile plastered, Mia scrolling TikTok. My stomach knotted as I sat, the metal chair cold against my legs. Mom dove in. I've missed you terribly, Reagan. She clasped my hand. I withdrew, skin crawling. She spun yarns of why she'd vanished. Your dad poisoned you against me, blocked my calls, hid your letters. Lies. Dad had pleaded for her involvement, saving her old voicemails as proof. The fabrication seared. My fists clenching under the table. She amped the plea. Mia's brilliant, but college costs are killer. Help us, for old time's sake. Mia interjected, tone petulant. I need a laptop too, something high-end, like a MacBook Pro, and clothes for sorority rush. You can afford it. Absurd. $2,000 gadget. $1,500 wardrobe? As if I owed her luxuries I'd denied myself. My coffee turned bitter on my tongue. On top of $70K? That's insane. Mia sneered. You're loaded. Stop being selfish. Mom piled on. Share your blessings, Reagan. We're blood. The guilt trip ignited white-hot anger. I'd built this from nothing. Nights coding till dawn. Dad's sacrifices. I earned every cent. I snapped. You bailed when I needed you. Mom's facade shattered. Ungrateful brat? I birthed you. This is payback. Mia chimed. Mom's right. You think you're better? Voices rose, patrons staring as steam from my cup mirrored my boiling blood. I stood, chair screeching. This ends now. Mom gripped my wrist. You'll pay for this. I yanked free, storming out, chest heaving with betrayal's fresh sting. That evening, my intercom buzzed relentlessly. There they were again, uninvited. Mom's eyes pleaded falsely. Mia looked impatient. Against instinct, I buzzed them up, better inside than a hallway scene. They invaded my space, Mom perching on the edge of the sofa, Mia flopping down carelessly. Small talk veered invasive. How's the job pay? Savings good? Then the pivot. Mia's future hangs on this. Be generous. Mia echoed. Yeah, don't be stingy. Unease prickled. I excused myself for water. Returning, horror struck. Mia at my desk, My unlocked tablet opened to my email and banking apps. Heart slamming, I lunged. Get away! Mia shrugged. Just looking. Mom defended. Curious about your success, dear. Logs showed. Password reset attempts. Account peaks. Worse, an email chain from Dad's inbox forwarded salary details, job perks, to Mom's address. She'd hacked him. Exploited his vulnerability. You breached Dad's email? I accused, voice trembling. Mom blanched, but snarled. Tom's a deadbeat, slaving in that junkyard shop. I needed intel on you. Mia laughed. Total loser. Glad we're not like him. Rage surged, veins pulsing. Out. Now. Or cops. Phone in hand, I dialed visibly. Mom's eyes bulged. Your own mother? Mia faltered. Drama queen. They fled, hurling threats. This isn't over. Door locked. I collapsed, sobs racking me. Logs confirmed intrusions, failed transfers, snooped statements. As an engineer, I secured everything with biometrics. But the violation gutted me. Mom's hack wasn't curiosity. It was theft of trust. I called Dad immediately, voice cracking as I spilled it all. He sighed deeply. Sounds like Linda. Always scheming. His email? Compromised months back. It fueled my fire. Next, my attorney, Sarah Klein. Fierce, no nonsense. Cybercrime territory? She said, eyeing screenshots. We filed for a restraining order in Travis County Court. Hacking, harassment, trespass. Hearings dragged, nerves frayed, but Sarah's strategy shone. Order granted, permanent, no contact, 500 yards buffer. Relief washed over me like rain. Days later, bank alert. $15,000 transfer attempt foiled by MFA, Mom's doing. Defying the order, I reported it. Sarah escalated. Consequences loomed. A year on, ripples spread. Uncle Jack Brooks, Mom's brother, contacted me. Linda's poisoned wells her whole life, conning relatives, ghosting debts. His tales exposed her pattern. Manipulative since youth, abandoning ties for gain. It depersonalized the hurt. She was broken, not me. Mom and Mia. Isolated. Kin severed ties after hearing of hacks and demands. They downsized to a dingy Dallas apartment, social media silent, reputations tarnished. Karma's quiet blade. Therapy with Dr. Marcus Hale unpacked layers. Her choices aren't your burden. Sessions peeled guilt, revealing strength in scars. I launched a nonprofit in Austin, coding scholarships for at-risk youth, mentoring like I'd needed. Colleagues pitched in, Jenna on outreach, Mike on site design. Dad visited often, beaming at my world. Friends like Alex and Priya, my true kin, bolstered me through lows. Over tacos one night, epiphany hit. Families chosen, not imposed. Mom's greed exposed her. My revenge? Thriving despite her. Thanks for joining my journey. Proof resilience wins. What betrayal have you overcome? Comment below. Subscribe for more empowering tales. Hit that bell. Next story drops soon.